because it's 2024 and it's be nice to have lighting and things that you're supposed to have when you go to work.
This one better than being over there?
Bobby and I like it here. I think it's farther for management to walk and talk to us. It leaves Bobby alone.
No one's in the building anymore, so it doesn't matter.
Yes. Here we go. So roll that chair over here just for a minute, just to see this, and then we'll get you back here in 5 or 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Then I'll move this.
We're going over here.
Yep, you're gonna go right there. Perfect. When ready, and your microphone.
Oh my God, he's making me do this, and I didn't do my hair today.
Oh, you look great. Steph McKenzie looks great today. Mm-hmm. One of the greatest rock jocks of all time. Now, you can't stay in the poll. You can't. There you go.
Okay, I didn't know you were live.
No, we're live on YouTube. We're not live on the radio yet.
But that's still live.
It is. It is. My YouTube just went over 5,000 subscribers.
Woo! Look at
which means nothing until we get to 20.
Look at how shiny I am. This is craziness. This is all fun.
I wore my Geneseo hat today, my alumni hat. So a little preview. Steph despises the Broncos more than anyone I know. More than anyone I know, by the way. I went to the University
of Wyoming, and I had to live up in that country. And you guys, it was awful.
Why was it awful?
It was awful because, well, first of all, I got into broadcasting, so I was in Wyoming, so not so bad. But obviously, I am a cowgirl, and I wanted to talk about the Cowboys as I progressed in my radio career. I get into Denver, and I wasn't allowed to talk about the Raiders. Been a Raider fan since I was a little girl, and I wasn't able to talk about the Cowboys because CSU and CU in Colorado.
Oh.
And the border battle, which is right there on CSU.
Okay. I'm going to get you in here quick.
Am I staying?
Yeah. The mic up to you. We'll get you going. And there's your voice.
For over 20 years. It's the JT the Brick Show, broadcasting live from the Finley Cadillac Performance Studio. Your silver and black host is sound off for over 45 years.
Out of the gate, JT with you on a big day. I got some juice today. It's going to be good. Welcome into the flagship of the Silver and Black Raider Nation Radio. If you're on our YouTube channel, which you should be, I know I've been promoting it. We just went over 5,000 subscribers, so that makes it a mini radio show. I have the beautiful Steph McKenzie, one of the greatest and most famous rock jocks in the world, here at Lotus Broadcasting here, and she despises the Broncos. So I got 5 minutes of her before I go off in the monologue. You don't have to introduce yourself because you're the voice of the show. All the spots you hear when we come back from break, all the commercials, it's Steph.
Love me, my JT.
Yes, and Bobby has your microphone up. As we open up the show, give the backstory on why you hate the Broncos.
Well, I'm going to tell you, JT, the big thing that just drives me nuts is I think I've told you this before, but I mean, it pains me, it hurts me, and it will never go away in my life. But I have been a Raider fan since I was a little girl. And the things that I have from LA and from Oakland when I was there, I'm kind of a little bit of a hoarder. I think half of my storage unit is all Raider stuff. And when I went to Denver, the Denver fans were nothing but awful to me, horrible as a kid. I wasn't an adult. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't talking smack. I wasn't swearing. I had a finger from the Coliseum from one of my very first games. A foam finger. And it said, #1 fan, we're #1. And I had this guy behind me. It's in my head. He's like, can you shut your face? And he pulls the finger off me. I'm a kid, rips it in half and sets it on my lap. It was there for the battery fight with Lincoln Kennedy. Oh. When Lincoln came up, we were like right there.
You were right there when the snowball was thrown at Lincoln Kennedy. Lincoln's helmet was tussled with. Lincoln went into the crowd.
Yes, we were right there. We were in that row where Lincoln jumped up into the crowd.
Wow. Yes. So the fact that the Denver fans, because Raider fans get a bad rap, but some believe they deserve it. I can't be in every section at every Raider game when other fans come. But you were mistreated by the Donkey fans. They, as a young girl,
And not just one time, not 2 times. It happens over and over. This lady,
Oh,
we
love
bought,
this story.
here's another one. We bought these tickets. It took a lot of hours of me working in college to afford really good tickets on the first level in Denver, right? It's snowing. We're excited. My sister and I are going. And this lady in this big Ford truck kept turning around. And she, we're loud. We're excited.
Yeah,
We
Raider
weren't swearing.
fans.
We were being nice. We weren't being disrespectful at all. We're cheering for our team. She kept turning around. She's like, I know who owns these seats. Well, good. Tell them thank you next time. They got a lot of money from me. And the game's in front of you. So if you turn around, you'd have a better time at this game.
Wow. So you went to Denver. I've been to Denver in my 27 years with the team. I've been to Denver like 6 times. I don't like going to Kansas City and Denver. I think Denver's a cool city. I like going to the big cities. I like going to New York, Chicago, LA, New Orleans, and all that. But
I got family there, right?
Yeah, you
I went
do.
to the University of Wyoming, so I know people up and down the Front Range.
But you've seen wins there and you've seen losses.
Yes, I have.
But you've been uncomfortable going to Mile High because the fans, when they see a female Raider fan, are just kind of like talking to you nonstop, and you still go back and deal with this. You still go into that belly of the beast because you're a diehard Raider fan.
I still keep going back. I love it. And I still keep going to Kansas City because I'll tell you, I do have a good time in Kansas City when we go there. I haven't been treated as bad as I have in Denver. Isn't that crazy?
Yes. You had Steph McKenzie joins us from right here at Lotus, one of my best friends. And I'll say this again. You had me on your show this morning.
Yes.
So I was on your show this morning. You asked me about Devontae, and I said, respectfully, he's still on the Raiders. He's suffering an injury. I can't go out there and say he's traded because he's not.
Listen, I can because on Fox and McKenzie, if it's not on the internet, then it's fake, right? So if it's on the internet, it's real.
But this is the flagship of the Raiders.
I know, I'm just kidding you.
But as we got into the game, I was talking to Chris about it. The Raiders injury report, and I said this going into the Browns game with Devontae with the hamstring, Max, who I'm hoping plays, whatever it is.
Too.
They are devastated with injuries. And I looked at the Broncos injury report, and it's pretty clean. So the Broncos are close to full strength. The Raiders are suffering a lot of injuries. But as we talk, these Raider backups are coming in and they're playing their ass off.
Okay, can I just tell you, Action Jackson? I love that kid.
All right, look at you.
Action Jackson, let's go.
So you love this and you're all right with Minshew. I have one thing about Minshew. I'm going to get into the monologue. I'm giving Minshew this game. This is it. If Minshew can go out and carry the team on his back into Denver, swashbuckling with the mustache, and win the game, we're good.
Otherwise, are you going to march out on the field?
No, but I mean, Aiden O'Connell's ready to play.
Oh, listen, I'm with you on this because especially after the performance you saw of rookies and first years last week, I was like, this is my team because even I'm a Crosby fan. I love Crosby. I love Devontae too, right? But at the end of the day, I'm a Raiders fan. And guess what? Who is behind the Raiders? A whole team. And that whole team that showed up last week did a great job.
I'm happy because you're a diehard Raider fan. You were born a Raider fan, and I'm happy about that. Finally, I got a rock and roll question. My buddies are going to see Motley Crue at the Troubadour in LA Sunday.
Amazing.
It's the size of this room. Is Vince on the Ozempic? Is Vince going to the gym? Vince hasn't been able to sing for a long time. Bobby and I talked about it. I've had margaritas.
Announcements this morning.
I did not hear it.
Residency Motley Crue at Park MGM coming in March.
Okay.
So we're going to go with, yes, I hope he can.
Vince, you're confident
knowing
Vince as long as you have that Vince can pull this together. Because Axel, for a time, the voice was kind of fading, and then Axel came back. And I saw Axel, and I was like, man, Axel really pulled this off. Vince, the last time I saw him, and I'm hoping he pulls it off.
Well, I was the same way. And so I have confidence that with losing weight, and I've heard that behind the scenes that he has been getting extra voice work.
Oh, good.
He's wanting to do this. And with a residency, I mean, you don't want to get slammed.
Can I ask one more favor? I've owned a condo at the Palms from the day it opened. Don't go down that road. My wife could be listening. I own a condo. Any hookup on getting Sammy tickets? Is Sammy coming too in town? Like
sold out birthday bash this weekend, Friday and Saturday night at the Pearl at the Palms.
I'm a owner there. I want to go see Sammy and Joe Satriani.
I know somebody that might be able to get you in, and it rhymes with Fafeffany.
Okay. And Friday night I'm going to UNLV Syracuse.
I know that's going to be a great
That's
game.
going to be a good game.
Wow.
So finally, Steph McKenzie, here it is on YouTube and on the flagship. Final score. Raiders at Broncos. Final score.
27-24 Raiders.
Wow, we're going into the 50s. I like that. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game
I
than
think
people.
it's going to be a higher scoring
And
game.
the reason I'm nervous a little bit because I think Bo Nix, who hasn't played well, is due to play well. And as I told you, I think they're at home, and I think Gardner Minshew is going to play for his job. So I expect Gardner to play better.
Let's go, guys. Action Jackson!
All right, tell everybody where they can hear your show.
Don't forget to listen to Fox and McKenzie Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I love you guys, and I love JT's on with us all the time.
Yes.
And like I always say, go Raiders!
Take care. There she is as I'll move her out, and I'll put me here in the full shot. Thanks to Steph McKenzie. Great friend, unbelievable personality, one of the best radio hosts I've ever heard because she has energy at an ungodly time in the morning, and she has energy. And she's great for the show, and I always bring her in. Thanks, Steph. Love you for Broncos week. All right, so welcome to the show. It's 10 after. Wherever you're listening, I'm going to get going. I got a lot to say today. I didn't have a lot to say yesterday because there was a little bit of button up, get in the building, get up in the building, and we're rolling. And the Devontae stuff, I was on 2 radio shows today, and I'm on one after the show in Denver. So everybody calls me and says, what do you know about Devontae? I have the company line. The company line is Devontae's on the Raiders. He is. He hasn't been traded. There's no deal imminent right now. Maybe in the 10 minutes there could be. He's a Raider. If you know me over the decades, once a Raider, always a Raider. 20 years from now, Devontae is going to come back to events at the Torch that are going to be black tie, and he's going to be introduced as a Raider. That doesn't go away. So I have the utmost respect for Davante Adams. He's a great player, and I don't have to explain that to anybody here because you know how pro Davante I've been since he got here. I think Davante Adams is one of the best players I've ever seen live, and I've seen them all. Montana, Brady, Jerry Rice, Tim Brown. Davante's on the short list. But after talking to Lincoln Kennedy live yesterday on Raiders Rundown on YouTube, Lincoln basically said, if you don't want to be here, don't be here. And Lincoln wasn't saying that per se about Davante, but that was a Davante topic. Lincoln's a former player. I am not. And I always know the difference between a former player and a radio host who's never played in the NFL. And I know that line. So I've been overwhelmed with Davante discussion for the last couple of days. And I've said the same thing. We love Davante. If this thing goes south, and if it goes south, which means he's gone, on a team that's 500, and everybody needs them. We need you. We're trying to win a game. Now he's hurt. So it's a different monologue. It's not like guys who, James Harden's the best example I can give you. James Harden played for the Houston Astros. They wouldn't trade him. So James Harden said, really, you're not going to trade me? I'm going to get fat. I'm not going to show up. I'm going to sit around. I'm going to eat until you prove that you trade me. And they traded him. Remember we went to the Brooklyn Nets, Brooklyn with Durant and that knucklehead Kyrie. How'd that work out? So he blew up the team in Houston. He blew up the team in Brooklyn. And now he's a Clipper. And the Clippers have never done anything in your life. So with all that being said, Davante played a brilliant Hall of Fame career in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. He's already in the Hall of Fame. If he doesn't play another play, he's got a gold jacket he's in. He came to the Raiders and told everybody he wanted to be a Raider. I love the Raiders. I want to be a Raider. I grew up a Raider fan. I want to be here so my grandmother can come watch me play. All true. What's changed? What has changed since? We don't know what has changed. I doubt what's changed is a like or not on an Instagram post, and I'm not aware of because I don't look at that crap. I doubt anything's changed because of his relationship with Gardner Minshew or Max Crosby. So what's changed? And my opinion, which is a strong one, is Davante's people, his people, not his wife, who's brilliant, and the kids, whoever represents Davante is now kind of leading Davante potentially out of Las Vegas. That's how I see this whole thing. I'm shocked that Davante would want to leave. Why would he want to leave? He loves Vegas. His kids go to school here. They're doing an unbelievable job. He's throwing parties. He's doing everything great. Everything's great. Why would he want to leave here? Well, he wants to leave because A, he wants to win. So he thinks he has a better opportunity to win somewhere else. Fair. But he's under contract with a football team that he claims to have loved and been a fan of his whole life. Okay. Or someone outside his world who he pays is telling him that it's a good time now to get out of here because there's a trade deadline. There's an opportunity to move before a deadline when you can't move. That's all this story's about. There's no more of the story. There's a trade deadline coming in a couple of weeks. He either wants to stay here and try to win with this team that he believes he can't win with or he can win with, or his people are telling him, no. We are going to move you to a better opportunity. We're going to restructure your brand coming off Netflix, and you're going to win here with Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr in New Orleans or Dallas, which I doubt. There are people so bleeping stupid that they think Tom Telesco would trade him to Kansas City. How dumb do you have to be? Now, some people like to correct me. If they want to give up 2 first-round picks for Davante, I think we could all be, okay, go to Kansas City. That's not going to happen. So as I sat here and my blood was boiling this morning as I was getting blown up to come on radio shows, to go on the record to talk about Davante, which I can't. I can't go on the record because, look, I'm not a guy who's going to get involved. Like Pat McAfee the other day had on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not allowed to comment on Davante. That would be tampering. Well, I'm not a player, but I consider myself the same thing. Working for the flagship station and the team, I'm not going to tamper. Davante's a member. I was the first guy to interview the coach, me. Before he went downstairs to 35 other people, he sat down with me for 10 minutes. I asked him 2 questions, both on Davante, and he moved on. Okay, I appreciate the fact he sat down with me. I asked him the questions. Davante's got a hamstring. The team will be ready for Denver. That's the company line. I love that from the coach. Because, again, talking today to other people in the organization, this team is laser focused to go win. And there's a couple of guys I won't mention in the locker room who are really agitated by all this stuff and really want to win even more. They want to win every game, but they want to win more now. So that's where we stand today. So if you say, JT, you're being a little bit cryptic, well, then understand my job. Give me a break and understand what I got to do. And I'll have plenty of time to clean this up. Oh, believe me, I'll have plenty of time to go clean this up. And this is not directed at Davante Adams. It is directed at all major sports. All major sports this is directed at. If you don't want to be with your team, do not call them brothers. Do not say my brothers. I want to be, don't say your brothers, because brothers don't do this to each other. I don't have a brother. I have 2 sisters. I don't have a brother, but I was a president of a fraternity, and I think I know a little bit about brotherhood. We took it real seriously. So don't tell me or anybody else how much you love it. If you're in the NBA, Major League Baseball, if you're in the Premier League in soccer, if all of a sudden in the beginning of the season you want to bail on your brothers, they're not your brothers. They're paid athletes then to you, and you will move on to another team and play with paid athletes who you might call your brothers. I've said this again, and I'll say it again to our new audience watching and listening. All you need to do going forward, and I can't predict everything. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't. All you need to do is watch the leadership of Max Crosby. Max Crosby's been through it all. Also, he got sober, right? So in the beginning, he wasn't sober. And he took control of his life and he got sober, which is working out amazing for him. Got a great wife who I know, kid, everything. Max is doing unbelievable. Just follow the leadership of Max Crosby and AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson and Adam Butler. So yesterday I'm doing the interview with the coach. I didn't know this was coming. I had no idea. We don't sit down and have a dress rehearsal. He tells me that he chose Adam Butler to speak to the team. And I followed up. I go, why? Why him? And he goes, well, he made it clear the way he practiced, and you'll hear the interview. And Adam Butler stepped up and changed the culture, and the culture's fine, but changed it going into this game with the Devontae noise in the background. He basically said really intensely to the team what they needed to do. And did you see how he played? Played unbelievable. I mean, he really played like a defensive player of the week type of candidate. Follow him. You know, and if no one wants to be at a certain team at any point in their life, they have the right to. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, living in a player empowerment era that we never lived in. I've been emotionally drained all week, mentally, because my friend Pete Rose died. He was my friend. Pete Rose played every day like it was his last day. Every at-bat, every inning, every World Series, everything. He played like it was his last game he was going to play, and all he cared about was winning. I worked for the Raiders, for Mark Davis, whose dad was Al Davis. All Al Davis cared about was winning. Winning. Of course, he butted heads with contracts and players and other owners and the league. He sued the league and won. But every day Al Davis woke up, it was just win, baby. That wasn't fake. That was real. Today, I'm wearing a Yankee shirt. I grew up with George Steinbrenner. If you didn't play your ass off for George Steinbrenner, he came down from the owner's box into the dugout and shredded you in front of the team because all he wanted to do was win, and he did win. So I'm sick and tired of this. I'm done. My agent's calling me. I don't like it here. I'm going somewhere else. In sports in general, you know by listening to me that I will always be on the side of the fan. That's my priority. Now, this is weird. Secondly, I'm usually on the side of ownership. I am, because I've always worked for someone. Other than owning my landscaping business as a kid, I usually work for someone. I work for Fox. I work for Morgan Stanley. I work for Smith Barney. I work for Lotus. I work for Sirius XM. I always answer to a boss. So when people start going crazy and blanking their boss and giving them the finger and all this, I'm like, you're crazy, man. You're going to get fired. You're going to lose your job. Do you care about your job? So when it looks at me, the fans are my priority. I usually side with the owners because the owners don't want to pour concrete and build stadiums. They just want to win. And they're billionaires, and they deserve it because they are billionaires. They earned it or it was inherited, and they have it, and leave them alone. They're giving you the team. And then thirdly, I love most of the players. You know how many players come on this show who get along with me and I like. But I'm done. I'm done with people saying that they want to be somewhere. They love the team. They're my brothers. I love them. And then they bail. Okay? This is not directed at Devontae Adams. This is directed at sports. If you don't want to be there, pack your crap up and leave. And there's someone else who wants to play maybe harder than you because they have to prove and put food on the table eventually for their family, and they might only be in the league 2 years. DJ Turner or some backup soccer player or some pinch hitter in baseball who might hit a home run and start the next game want to be there maybe more than you do. So that's where I stand today on the monologue. We're brought to you by PTs. Thanks to Steph McKenzie for coming in. We got a game to win. We, the season ticket holders in the Raider Nation, got a game to win against Denver. Denver's sitting back there in Denver going, ooh, this is good. Look at this. Stephen A. is talking about the Raiders. He's not even talking about the Raiders. He's talking about one player. Denver's wearing their throwback uniforms and bringing back all their alumni, doing a Ring of Honor ceremony and giving Randy Gradishaw his Hall of Fame ring. Oh, yeah, they want the game. They've lost 8 in a row. Who will step up for the Raiders? Who will be the Raider? Like last week, DJ Turner and Trey Tucker, not catching the ball, running the ball into the end zone. Charles Snowden with a batted down ball and a late forced tackle that won the game. A.J. Cole with the Coffin's corner. Who's going to be the guy that's going to win the game in Denver? That's the focus of the show the next 2 days. Brought to you by PTs. Best happy hour in town, 5 to 7, midnight to 2. Wow, it's a big week for Chris in West Oakland to lead off the show. Hello, Chris.
On the Devontae thing real quick. Look, he's a Raider as of now. I'll leave it at that. Other than possible trades, people are talking. Look, first off, there's no scenario where, and I've heard people talking, oh, let him go. We're better off without him. No, we're not better off without him. There's no scenario where the Raiders are better off without Devontae Adams. Now, that being said, if he wants out, okay. My only thing is I wish they wouldn't have gone public, because if you want to a trade and you go public, then that weakens the Raiders' position leverage-wise to get what you want. I'm with you. There's no way. I thought people were ridiculous yesterday suggesting trading into the Chiefs. You're not going to do a deal like that. But the Jets are a different story, JT. They're all in with Aaron Rodgers, and you got to figure their window's a year or two. Maybe you can fleece the Jets for a first rounder, or maybe a Hassan Reddick who's holding out, or something like that. Because if he wants out, make your team better, get what you can get in draft capital, so maybe you can move up next year if you need to. And we'll talk a lot more about that. As far as the game this week, I always call on Thursday because, we practice early on Fridays. I can't get in. I think the recipe last week is going forward is going to be the same. I heard Steph McKenzie. I don't think there's any way this game gets into the 50s. I see it 17-14, 16-13, a field goal game, maybe a turnover leads to a short field. Neither one of these teams has shown me they can go up and down the field and put consistent touchdowns on the board. So that being said, again, I've kind of gotten out of the picking winners of the Raiders. I'm going to go out and do it this week, JT. I think the guy that's going to step up, this is going to be a Daniel Carlson game. I think you could see 4 field goals out of this guy. The Raiders can win 16-13, 19-17. I think Max can create a strip sack, but do like you did last week with the Browns. Don't make mistakes other than the one fumble. Sit back, see if you can force the rookie Bo Nix into a couple of big mistakes that you can turn into a pick six or a scoop and score or a very short field, because I just don't see they haven't shown me yet that they can go up and down the field and be consistent. I hope I'm wrong. I hope at some point they prove me wrong, but I do think the Broncos, we own the Broncos. They got a rookie quarterback going up against a tough defense. And if this is all predicated on Max being back this week and being relatively healthy, I'm going to go 19-13 Raiders and keep the streak going over the Broncos. And again, win ugly, it's better looking than losing pretty. And just keep stacking a couple of wins like this till you get some players back. And hopefully you get into November, you're still around 500, and you can take a legitimate shot at a wild card down the road. Thank you, my friend. Everybody have a great weekend out there, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Brought to you by Tito's, the original handmade vodka from the original distillery right there in Texas. Tito's, proud partner of our show. I will have some Tito's tonight when I'm at One Steak. They got live music at Virgin Hotels. At One Steak, live music. There's a lot of Syracuse fans in town staying there. Cliff, the president, said, come on down. J.O.D. going to be there. My buddy Cambo's in town from the Fillmore. So we're going to head on over there, have a couple of Tito's tonight. Again, we're now here to preview the Bronco game. If you want to talk about Devontae, of course you can. Of course you can. I'm not going to be this show from noon to 2 Pacific that does trade scenarios. Do not call me asking for a second and a fourth. Do not call me asking my opinion on a first and a fifth. No, Devontae's a Raider. He's a Raider. But all indications from around all of the media is that he's going to be moved. That's Captain Obvious stuff. Okay, it's everywhere. Our insiders are reporting it. Everybody's talking about it. So you can do whatever you want with it. But I've been here a long time. I've seen a lot of players come and go. I treat them all the same way, from Jamarcus Russell to Randy Moss to Tim Brown to Devontae Adams if he leaves. Once a Raider, always a Raider. This is a business. We don't have to agree with the business. We're fans. It's short for fanatic. A lot of people want to win. You got to beat Denver. You can't lose to the Chargers, who put up no passing yards, and lose to Bo Nix, who puts up no passing yards. Okay? So this game's on Minshew. All right? It's Minshew mania time. He's been great at the podium. He's been great with the teammates. Now it's time for Gardner Minshew to wake up and go play a football game and be great on the first drive and win the game maybe on the final drive. This is without question a Gardner Minshew game. You want to be the starting quarterback of the Raiders? I'm thrilled for you. I want you to play every play this year. But this is it. You're in a tough spot. You play under pressure. You've done it before. Go do it again. 702-365-9200. Nice. Told you I was ready today. I'm ready every day. I never slow down. Never slow down. It's 100 degrees out here. I was out last night. 9:30 at night. It was 91 degrees. It felt like it was 70, and I needed a windbreaker. I mean, no one has it better than us this time of year, man. It was a hot summer, But I love the weather today. I love the show today. Kevin Bollinger from Fox 5 will join us next. No. I got that wrong. He's not going to join us next. That was on me. Yep. Who is next? Oh, we're open. Lee Sterling. Okay. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, I was pretty aggressive there. Let me fix the camera here. Let's get this thing going. Yeah, there we go. Get some Yankees on. Need the Yankees to win. By the way, I'm all about the Yankees now in October. Apologize for nothing. There we go. What else is saying? Fabian, it's 90 degrees here in the South Bay. JT, you're always ready. Thank you, Real Justin. Derek Big D Garcia, Lee Sterling, 2-1 last week. Big D, you're right. O-line needs to block. Yes. Vegas born. Go Yanks. Ray, shut down a rookie quarterback. Everything says that Denver is clearly ready for this contest. Everything. They are no doubt ready to go. Denver is sick and tired of losing to the Raiders. They will be ready to go. Thank God they haven't played well. Denver defense isn't bad. They're better than that. They're really good. They got some pretty good stats.
Whereabouts in California? Oh, hold on. Raider Nation, what's your name? Eric, okay, I got two ahead of you. Hold on, okay?
A lot of lawyers who advertise here don't even live here. If they say Nevada,
Okay, you're leaving off. Give me about 3 or 4 minutes.
if they think our capital is Las Vegas, they're not from around here. I'm Richard Harris, and I am from Nevada. I grew up here. I went to school here.
Put Butler hit for a loss coming back.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Richard Harris. Richard Harris Law Firm. 444-4444, just in case. There's a new way to get to the game, M-Riding. M-Ride is the luxury concierge shuttle service. It's the same as the players use, so you can act like a pro. M-Ride will take you round trip from Circle with the Palms to Allegiant Stadium or T-Mobile Arena. No more hassle parking, sitting in traffic, waiting in long taxi or rideshare lines. M-Ride.
All right. Got my buddies playing golf today. I would have liked to have played golf today, but we have a radio show we got to do. Bobby, we have the Padres who looked amazing. God, that Dodger series is going to be freaking good. That's going to be really good TV. The Yankees got rid of the Orioles and the Astros. Wow.
Yeah, especially the Orioles. Go figure that out.
Yeah.
Thank Kansas City.
The Yankees are much better than Kansas City, but Kansas City, Yankees have had their number forever. Good chance.
It's the same thing in October. You got a
Yeah.
card team, they get hot. Next thing you know, they're in the LCS or whatever. It happens.
Do you like that wild card format with 3 games all in the home ballpark? No, you can't do 1-1-1.
Yeah, no, you can't go back and forth. I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, first I think one game winner take off, but money is money, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to give you a Resorts World here.
Cool. Raider Nation.
I think I have something.
I'm sorry, what? Kyle, where you calling from?
Broncos encourage fans to arrive early for their Ring of Honor unveiling. Unbelievable. I got to read that. Golden Knights start up. Right? Golden Knights.
Yep. Well, Colorado tonight. They start next Wednesday.
Sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health and in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Boyd Gaming is the official and exclusive
Here we go.
casino partner of the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Bring your friends.
So in like 8 or 9 minutes, we're gonna get Sterling.
Visit their 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by PT's, the best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
More on the left side. Watson's under center. Raiders come with a blitz. Watson gives it to the back, and Ford is met in the backfield. So that's a play. Adam Butler hit him in the shield back at the 47-yard line.
I thought Adam Butler had a great game. That's Jason Horowitz on the call. You know, I'm always talking about Resorts World. I went to dinner the other night at Viva, and that's fantastic. If you want a new restaurant here, Ray Garcia, one of the best chefs you'll ever see. Man, Esquire Magazine Chef of the Year, Ray Garcia. Book your reservation now and try it. It was fantastic. They got Crossroads, which is another fantastic restaurant that I like to go to. Brezza is fantastic. Red Tail, let me tell you quickly about Red Tail. If you're a sports fanatic, it's a dynamic hangout spot. We've done remotes there. You should have a viewing party all season long. You can kick back and enjoy. You have a shareable menu over there. They got games you can play while you're there. Great cocktail menu. Really like it over there. 8 Cigar Lounge, where Max does a lot of his podcasting over there. They're good friends of ours. It's just fantastic. The fall flavors await. Discover October's best bites and sips. Resorts World, proud partner of our show. That's our home for Monday night and Thursday night football. So I misspoke on Kevin Bollinger. He'll join us at 1:45. Lee Sterling, he went 2-1 last week with his picks. Right on the Alabama side with that one. He's going to join us here in about 10 minutes. And who else do we got, Bobby? Oh, Jay Vickers with the UNLV connection with Syracuse, former player at Notre Dame. Syracuse is in town. I got a lot of friends from Syracuse in town, and Syracuse is playing UNLV. No, I'm not going to pick a winner, but Jay Vickers will join us a little bit later on. And then Brandon Cristal, Broncos insider. So we do not have a lot of time. I want to get to everybody. Jordan in Colorado, Bronco country, Raider Nation. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, JT?
What's happening?
Hey, man, it's Bronco week.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
Bronco week, baby.
Yep.
And growing up here in Colorado, man, as you could imagine, it was a hell of a time to be a Raider fan, but I never wavered, man. My dad was the biggest Raider fan. My grandpa was the biggest Raiders fan, and my brother and I, we try to make it to the game every year. And me and my brother, we go every year, man, and that stadium is electric, and it's filled with Raider fans. I just thought I'd call in, and I'm the first-time caller, and yeah, man.
Thank you.
It's all over the news. Everything is exploding with this Devontae drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all over local news, and they're calling the Raiders the dysfunctional Raiders, and they just think that they're going to be able to roll us over, and they forget that we got 8 straight wins under our belt, man. And, you know, and I don't mind ever being the underdog coming into a situation, man, because every time that we're underestimated, the Raider Nation shows up, and we always find a way to get it done. My girlfriend, me, and my brother and my dad, we were at the walk-off overtime touchdown that Devontae had in the end zone, and we're right there in the camera frame, man, so I'm excited.
Good for you. Well, have a good game. Appreciate you checking in. Love hearing a first-timer from Colorado. Thanks for checking in. Have a good game, and really appreciate you starting us off. 702-365-9200. Adam Schefter saying the Raiders are open to trading Devontae Adams. Quote, would consider return of a second-round pick and additional compensation. That's Adam Schefter, the number one guy saying that. So that's Adam Schefter's sources. I'm giving you what Adam Schefter's saying here. So what would the Raiders consider if they move Devontae? And what does Devontae want? We don't know what Devontae wants because Devontae hasn't spoken up about it other than to Kay Adams, and I think on another podcast. And I don't know. I mean, I would hope that Devontae, not with me, maybe someone else, whoever he's comfortable with, will go into the building or go somewhere and clear the air. That's what I would recommend. I think that's something he will probably do at some point. Glenn is in Denver. Look at this. Like we got a radio show in Denver today. What's up, Glenn?
Hey, JT, how you doing, my friend?
Good, thanks.
Awesome. So I think you hit the nail on the head as far as having these guys being so two-faced about it. And it's like, I can't blame the guy for wanting to go to a winning team, wanting to get a ring, whatever. You do what you got to do. But the one thing I saw last week was Gardner Minshew throwing the ball around to different people without the stress of having to feed Devontae. You just have that diva attitude that if he doesn't get the ball enough, the guy throws a fit and a tantrum.
Well, no, I don't think. Wait a second. Devontae hasn't thrown a lot of fits for not getting the ball. If Devontae's upset that he's open and they don't hit him, let's make sure we're honest here. Devontae's been a really good teammate on the field. He's been a leader. I think Devontae wants to win, and he's not a guy that's acting crazy. Come on.
No, you're right. But by the same token, with Minshew not having to feed that beast all the time, I mean, Devontae wants the ball. That's what he does. The guy's he's a proven winner for years and years and years. We're just not at that point where, I mean, we don't have all the resources to be able to feed that and keep him fed without having to sling the ball around.
Okay.
I think with him getting the ball around with all these other guys, I just think it's going to be a better situation for Gardner without that kind of stress.
Well, you could be right on that. That's a good point. I got to keep it moving, everybody. I need everyone to be tight today, and we keep this moving. Appreciate you calling, Glenn, from Denver. There's some truth to that. I talked to some former Raider receivers who said that to me, that without Devontae there, the ball is going to get thrown around a little bit easier to other guys. Of course it will. Devontae deserves 12 targets a game, no matter who he plays for. If he ends up being with the Jets or New Orleans, he's going to cut a deal where he's getting 10 targets a game. And I've been telling you that about Brock Bowers. You know, Brock Bowers deserves 10 targets a game. We haven't gotten him in the end zone yet. What the hell's that all about? Like, this team's got to get to the red zone and target plays to Brock Bowers. Oh, let me stop the show. This is something my son can cut up and put on a reel. The team gets to the red zone. That would be the 20 or in. Let's take it back to the 25. The team gets to the 25. You run plays to Brock Bowers. Period. I don't care how you do it. Now, you can go crossing routes underneath, play action. You run Brock Bowers to the corner pylon, and you let him go get a ball. I would do that, but I'm not an offensive coordinator. I would get the ball. I think AP, which I don't like calling him AP, I call him coach. Let me take that back. I think Antonio Pierce would look over and say, hey, it's 1st and 10 at the 26. Take a shot with Brock, please. Come on. It's week 5. Gardner. I put this on Gardner as much as Luke Getsy, and I'm good with both of them. Run the plays that you run in Henderson when you turn the sprinklers off and you're on the field, and run a couple of corner routes to Brock. This isn't hard. Don't tell me he's being double covered. No, Devontae was being double covered. Now Jacoby's being double covered. Get him the ball, man. Get him the ball. Palm Springs. Al joins us. Al, did I hear it got to 115 the other day? Is that accurate?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
JT. Just like you said in Vegas, it gets hot at night. It's hot at night over here in Palm Springs. Just want to make it short and sweet, man. It's Donkey Week. Let's go over there to Denver. Like you said, just like you said right now, how you're yelling. I'm like that at the beginning, man. Get it to Brock Bowers. It's Donkey Week, and let's get the best hand in Baccarat and make it number 9.
That'd be nice. If I can come back here, if I could host a post-game show from the team headquarters and the Raiders win. You notice I'm not going crazy. Bobby must win. I did that last week. I was in the end zone in front of 60,000 people telling the dog pound to go home. No one else did that. I did that. Okay, it worked. Okay, I can't do that every week. I'm sorry. You got to break that stuff out. You got to break that stuff out every once in a while. Led Zeppelin didn't do Stairway at every show. They broke it out when they needed it. So, but we got the Steelers coming to town. Ooh. What will I do for that one? Well, beat Denver, and it'll make it a real easy one, what I'm going to do. Lee Sterling gives you games for free. So if you're a gambler, you got to listen to Lee because he's a professional gambler. He was 2-1 last week, and he's coming in hot. The games he has, he's got Miami at Cal, Steelers, Dallas, Minnesota, and the Jets. He's going to give you those games for free. So you want to be around for that coming up next. Brought to you by Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Head on out and see the new vision at Virgin Hotels right here in Las Vegas. All right, we'll keep this to the top of the hour. Yeah, Detroit and Cleveland, man. I think Cleveland's a lot better than Detroit, but Detroit's hot. Bobby, you're right. You think the Indians get by, the Guardians get by Detroit?
I don't know.
They got
Tough, but I think Detroit might have. I mean, Cleveland, I've always had the thing with Tito, so
right.
that's the issue.
Tigers Brewers World Series. Well, you must have forgot a guy by the name of Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, LFA. I think the Padres series is going to be freaking crazy. Yeah, well, the alumni hat today. That's where I went to college. Does anybody know where Geneseo State University is? Or do we have anybody in the chat from Geneseo State University? Syracuse Raider. Wow, the Cuse. I think the Padres beat the Dodgers in 5. That would not shock me. Penn State, baby. Fabian, upstate New York. Yes, between Buffalo, Rochester to be exact, and Syracuse. Big D. Pete Rose. Yeah.
Oh, it took me about a minute and a half, okay? Yeah, I'm going to play the Tucker reverse touchdown.
Okay.
Raider Nation, what's your name? Anthony, where you calling from? No, hold on.
Yeah. You got a Ramon shirt on today. Good stuff.
I figure with the light once while I still can. It's going to get cold in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Hunger shit ain't going to last forever. Golden Knights tonight at home against Colorado, 7:00 puck drop.
The people, I love the Golden Knights. I love them. Will people be excited for this year? Because we expected a cup every year.
The hardcore, when the season starts, everybody's happy. You know what I mean? If they're like 2-12 when you get to November, that's another story. This team's probably like they're about a 6 or 7 seed, I would say, as far as the playoff team. Yeah, definitely not as good as a few people in their conference, but they're not going to suck. I can tell you that.
On top of your original $50 or more deposit.
It's all set.
Okay. I can't believe some of the people on ESPN picking games. I love my guy, Joe Fortenbaugh. He's a rock star. Some of the other people have picking games here. Just wow.
My name is Dustin. I'm the head designer for Cody James, and this is Behind the Design with Boot Barn. The Cody James boots are made in Leon, which is known as the cowboy boot capital of the world because of their long.
Boy, we got a cowboy boot commercial on, Bobby.
Yep.
As far back as the 1700s.
Who brought in that partner?
I have no idea, but don't get it.
Artisans,
Mm-hmm.
literally passing
There
down
we go.
skills from generation to generation. Cody James, only at Boot Barn.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by the Black Hole. Become a member of football's most notorious fans.
Issue out of the gun. He sends Powers in motion to the right. Third and goal. Shotgun snap. Hand off to White. They run the reverse to the near side. Tucker. He's got space at the 5. Finds the corner. Touchdown Raiders. Trey Tucker on the reverse to the left side. Beat the Browns to the corner. And the Raiders cap off a drive with a 3-yard touchdown. And they're back in it, baby.
All right, the gal on ESPN bet. The gal just picked the Broncos -2.5 over the Raiders. Nice. Don't know what her track record is. I know Lee Sterling's. He posted. He was 2-1 last week from ParamountSports.com. Lee, I just crack up. We have mutual friends. I mean, there are people trying to do your job being a handicapper. We don't know what their record is from week to week. They're on TV, and they never tell us what they bet. I don't know if they're betting $5 or 500. I guess they don't make you do that when you're on television on the worldwide leader. You don't have to tell people that you have money on the game.
No record. They don't have to. You don't have to show betting slips. It's set. I mean, you go to my website, you can see every single selection I've given over the last 5 years. So, you know what? I don't have to worry about anyone saying, there's no full disclosure. So
yeah.
I'm ready to go. Been doing it now 31 years.
Well, you got Alabama right, and you had Baltimore in that blowout against Buffalo on this show. Let's start off with Cal. Cal's getting ESPN Game Day. What is that all about in Berkeley as Miami comes in minus 10.5 with a young quarterback I like, who could be maybe a solid NFL quarterback. Tell me about him.
All right. So they're looking for something different, and they'll probably have about, 15, 20 people hanging out early, 6 in the morning at Cal. Maybe they get, 500, 1,000 fans, but Cal's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. They're facing Miami after Miami had their worst game. Some people are saying Miami looks vulnerable. They gave up 34 points to Virginia Tech. And they also lost 5 total starters on defense, not the major injuries, minor injuries, and then also cramping during the game. I think they're going to come back, even though they're that 6-hour flight, long flight, going across country. But what we have here is Cal has trouble getting the ball in the end zone. They had 6 possessions inside the 20 last 2 weeks ago against Florida State, resulted in 4 field goals. They're number 88.
Oh, we lost him. That was on him. He hit disconnect. So we got to get him up here quick. If you want to get through, we got a bunch of calls I'm trying to get to. So we'll get to you as quick as we can. Lee Sterling joins us from Paramount Sports. We'll get him up here, back here in a moment as I'm looking at some of the picks now. Anita's best bet, Broncos minus 2.5. All right, Lee, so you were about to give us the Miami-Cal game. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so Cal just does not get explosive plays. Number 88 in the country. They only have 16 plays of 20 or more yards. Miami, number 2 in the country. 107 plays of more than 10 yards. 45 plays of more than 20 yards here. Cam Ward, when he faced his Cal defense, put up 39 points last year. And Damian Martinez, their number 1 running back, when he was at Oregon State, their team put up 52 on Cal. Cal's going to be excited. They've got game day there. It's going to last about a quarter and a half here. Miami, blowout, 45-28.
Miami blowout, 45-28. 45-28. As I write that down, Lee Sterling joins us. All right, let's jump in here with the Steelers. Minus 2.5 against Dallas. What am I missing here? Oh, Micah Parsons won't go. They just reported that. That's a big one. And Dallas's defense has been getting carved up. We get Pittsburgh and Vegas next week. After this, that's our next home game out here. I don't think their quarterback play has been great, but Justin Fields will keep Russell Wilson on the bench if he continues to play at this level.
Yeah, he will. They have also got some injuries on the offensive line. They lost the key starter on the offensive line, and when are they going to get it going here? This Dallas offense, I think they've got potential far greater than who Pittsburgh's faced. Pittsburgh faced Atlanta with Kirk Cousins the first week when he just sat in the shotgun, would not go under center yet. Denver in Nick's second start. The Chargers when Herbert was not 100% and has no weapons. And Indy with a scattered arm quarterback. So they faced the right quarterbacks at the right time. Yeah, Dallas defense isn't great, but Dak Prescott here, I think he's going to light up this secondary. For some reason, Pittsburgh not blitzing as much as past seasons. Wrong team favored. Dallas outright 24-23.
24-23 for Dallas. And let's go into Minnesota. Minus 2.5 versus the Jets. This game fascinates me because the Jets gave a win away to Bo Nix, who only threw for 60 yards. The cadences jumping off sides. Aaron Rodgers, a lot of heat with Robert Saleh here. I'll tell you this much. I look at Minnesota, and they're probably better than the Jets, but I feel like the Jets are in this really big must-win situation. How do you have it?
It it is a must-win. But here's the problem: Sam Darnold. He's not going to tell you it's a revenge game. He's 4 years removed from being the Jets quarterback, but he's got something to prove here. He's got the #1 passer rating, highest passer rating in the NFL. He has found a head coach in Kevin O'Connell, who he just meshes well with, and first-year offensive quarterback coach Josh McCown. Don't discount what he's done so far. Aaron Rodgers' arm looks fine, but if you watch him, just not the same. Evading the sack. Denver sacked him last week 5 times here. And Brian Flores, he might be the best defensive coordinator right now in the NFL. I think he's going to get another shot at being a head coach after dealing with maybe one of the worst owners in the Miami Dolphins owner a few years ago. So, yep, it looks like it's a must-win game here for the Jets, but I like Minnesota 27-17.
27-17. That would be a bad loss. Your game of the week, Lee's at ParamountSports.com. I know you texted me about this Kansas City game. You get some really good information. How do we get this game?
Yeah, just be one of the first 5 callers. Call 800-400-9741. We're going to find out, can Kansas City keep winning? Or is this going to be the upset for the Saints here and finally knock off this undefeated Chiefs team? So be one of the first 5 callers to call 800-400-9741 to get Kansas City and New Orleans on me. And we are rolling. We rate our games from 10 to 50 units, hit our biggest play of the year last week, a 45-unit max wager on Kansas State. We don't call it Locktober here. You can, get all over these plays. How about this? 4 weeks of plays through Thursday, October 31st, not $4.97. Use coupon code SAVE200, just $297. One place, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com. He's got deals for you. You need Lee Sterling. He will help you win money. He has for our audience for 2+ decades. Talk to you, Lee. Good luck.
Sounds good. See you, JT.
Lee Sterling. Now he goes on another radio show and another one and another one. Then he comes back and goes on Q because him and Q are really good friends. He's a pro, so give him a chance there. Eric in L.A., where the Raiders are coming for the Rams in a couple of weeks. Go ahead.
Hey, Brick, man, I got to be petty right now, man.
Uh-oh.
Hey, bro, I'm a 42-plus year Raider fan, L.A. all strong, man. Hey, I love Mark. I'm one of Mark's biggest supporters. He done got us a great stadium, everything, man. I've always supported Mark, always sticking up for him. But we got to stop with this once a Raider, always a Raider stuff, man. That was never from Al, man. That's coming from Mark or whoever else. Because there's a lot of people that put on the silver and black that ain't Raiders. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And I understand the premise, man, because the Raiders do a lot for their older players. The Raiders have always been for their players.
So what do you want us to do, E? What do you want us to do, E? Get rid of once a Raider, always a Raider? You want us to get rid of that?
Hey, man, it's commitment to excellence, and it's just win, baby. All of this new stuff, man, that's what's getting us off track, man.
Oh, don't act like a slogan's getting the team off track. Come on, E.
You know where I'm coming from, man. It's all about the name on the front of the chest.
Yes.
It ain't about Adams on the back, bro. Adams never wanted to be a Raider. He wanted to come and play with his homeboy. So that told you from the beginning. He never wanted to be a Raider, man. He had his own agenda. I'm not mad at him. It's a business. But let him move on, man. But, hey, Jamarcus ain't a Raider. Randy Moss never wanted to be a Raider. Sapp ain't a Raider. And Devontae ain't a Raider.
I disagree. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I disagree with you. Warren Sapp played his tail off for the Raiders. I was there for every play. Warren's had some personal problems in his life, some really bad decisions he's made, like my friend Pete Rose. But killer Warren Sapp was playing his tail off as a Raider. You know why? No, very important comment I want to make here, and I know we got to come back. Sapp was a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famers don't take plays off. The only Hall of Famer I ever saw take plays off was Randy Moss with the Raiders. That's it. Randy Moss played unbelievable with the Patriots and the Vikings. When he came to the Raiders and he won it out, he pulled the James Harden. He'll tell you that. Great analyst, does good. Good man. I don't have a beef with Randy Moss, but Randy Moss quit on the Raiders. He quit. I was there for it behind the bench. I saw it. I was there. So that's when everyone yells, Randy, Raider Nation. And he screams, I'm not a Raider, because he quit on the Raiders. Devontae never quit on the Raiders. Devontae plays every play like it's his last because he's a gold jacket Hall of Famer someday. And if we say goodbye to him, we'll wish him well like everybody else. I thought Devontae would end his career with the Raiders. I hope they would. Why wouldn't you? You get a player like that? You don't want to lose a player like that. You don't want to ever lose a player like that. But sometimes business gets in the way. There's no news today. Maybe there'll be news tomorrow. We'll see how it plays out. JT, as we continue on the flagship of the Silver and Black. This is Raider Nation Radio. Goodbye to the YouTubers. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to leave a little bit of meat on the bone here. I got a UNLV guest who will be great. If you want to listen to that, you can listen to it on our flagship station. I will talk to you tomorrow. We got a big Friday show lined up. I'll tell you all about that.